Hey everybody out there, I hope you're doing pretty well. And today I'm going to be doing a video where I show you how the Emp.money project that is a partner with Splinterlands can get you more Splinterlands cards without hurting either one of these projects. And this is one of the fun things about the partnership, that when you spend EMP on credits on Splinterlands, they do not dump that on the market. They have options to either invest it into the Emp.money like liquidity farms or detonator that we've talked about in the past, or selling it back to the treasury that EMP uses. This is why doing this both helps the EMP price and helps you by getting some more Splinterlands assets. If you already have EMP, it's a way for you to get another asset source, and I'll show you a little bit about that and give you a couple tips. And if you're in Splinterlands and you're looking for somewhere else to go ahead and put some money to get some passive income coming into you that could help support the game, of course you'd have to have the money to do this. It's an option. Now, I recently covered the launch of the Reactor. It was pretty big, and one day they got $1 million, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. The Emp.money Reactor is now to over $2 million deposited, I think. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, total deposited $2.5 million as we're reaching the day that you're about to pan out. And if a quick recap of the way this works, you put in locked liquidity, you earn rewards every day. The more liquidity coming in, the more your daily burst is going to be. And so you could see I put in just under, I put in 1 LP to start, and I'm at 1.33 LP to start. I've been earning 0.02 LP a day. I've been trying to compound every single day. I missed one compound due to an error in MetaMask. But today I'm going to show you how, when it's time for me to do a claim, I don't actually hurt this project very much. So we're going to first start off by doing a claim. Now, when you do a claim, there are some taxes in this. I'm not going to get out exactly $17, and you do have to build up a deposit that's big enough to where you're at least getting a few dollars, or this doesn't make a lot of sense. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this claim button, right? And then we're going to confirm. We're going to wait a little while. You want to wait until around this time each day, to about 5 minutes left, 10 minutes left, to get your most rewards in the beginning. And then later on, you can kind of time it at different times. You can earn a lottery ticket for every $8 that you put in. So like when this got to $16 in rewards, I could compound it and it would have got me some lottery tickets for today. I actually don't have any lottery tickets for today because I didn't do a compound or a deposit, but I am going to do another deposit into this pretty soon. But okay, so I did my claim. As you can see, that is gone and it went through, and I now have a few LP tokens. These LP tokens are the eShare and the BNB tokens. So what can you do with these? Now, obviously, one of the things you could do is you could dump them into the eShare BNB pool, right? But I'm going to go over to Pancake Swap, and I'm going to have some liquidity here, right? So there we go. The BNB eShares is about $17.48. Instead of adding liquidity, I'm going to back out of that. That was just a quick way to get over here. I'm going to go to manage my liquidity, and I'm going to remove this. I'm going to remove 100%. It's going to give me 0.315 BNB and 0.22 eShares into my wallet. Do an enable. Got to sign a few messages when you're doing this kind of stuff. Oh, that was my alarm to remind me to do my compound our claim, but we already did the claim. And then I'm going to remove this liquidity. Now, you're probably thinking, aren't you hurting the EMP project when you're doing this, right? I'm pulling out some liquidity that would have been locked up on these tokens, and I'm theoretically selling the tokens. But let me show you what I'm selling them into. So we'll wait for this to go through. All right, our transaction is finished. Now we can go ahead and go over to the trade, and we can do a couple swaps. So now, when I hit this, I'm going to be able to do the eShares. Oh, one little wrong letter. And what am I going to swap this into? I'm going to swap it into EMP token. There we go. So we're going to do a max swap, and we're going to pick up about 27 EMP tokens, right? And then after this one goes through, there we go. We're going to switch this over to BNB. I picked up a 0.315. I'm going to do 312, add just a little bit extra BNB into the situation. That's going to pick me up another 28 tokens. My slippage is set really high. That's why you might be seeing some little messages on the screen. It's because I deal with some kind of high taxed tokens on Binance Smart Chain with some of my stuff I've got into. I don't do those so much anymore, so I should probably lower that slippage. It doesn't hurt anything in this case. I don't think I'm getting front run on these small transactions. Let's see, did that one go through? I might have gotten an error on that one. Let me just double check my wallet. Swap, extract, ETH 0.022 failed pancake swap. All right, I did not get that one, so we'll try it again, 0.032 for that. And let's do another swap. I wonder why that one failed. Never good video when one of your transactions doesn't go through for some reason. So we're picking up a little bit more EMP. Now see, because I pulled out this liquidity, it worked that time, and I did 2 purchases of EMP. While one of the tokens I sold was BNB, that doesn't affect their project at all, and the other token was eShare. Yes, I sold a little bit of eShare, but once we're done doing this little example, we're going to wrap up why that isn't bad for the project. So let's go ahead and go over to Splinterlands now. Now this is my Splinterlands account. I am a Maverick with quite a lot of cards, and I already have some credits. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and purchase some credits. Now I had about $17, right? And this is where not everything is going to be perfect, but we're going to put $17 right here. So we're buying 17,000 credits for $17. We're going to hit crypto, and we're going to go right here. We're going to select Emp.money, and we're going to hit buy. Now we're going to see I need to have 46 Emp.money. I actually had a little bit more than that, so I can look at my wallet, right? And I should be able to find my EMP tokens in here, I believe. I have way too much junk, and I'm showing it all to you. Yeah, I have some elephant. I have a little bit of... Did I go past them? Oh, I might need to add them to my wallet. Bad move. But let me go ahead and do that really quick. So if we go here, and then I go to BSC scan, and then I go to my Emp.money tokens. I just got in token Emp.money. I can copy the contract, hit MetaMask, assets, go to the very bottom. I have way too much, and we'll import the EMP tokens. And I have 55.88. So now we'll go back to Splinterlands. I'm going to close this out. I'm going to hit buy again because I can buy a few more dollars. So let's try. Maybe I pumped EMP token, but I did add a little extra BNB. Let's see if I can get $20 worth. So we'll hit crypto. We have Emp.money there. We'll hit buy. 55. I could buy even a little. Or 54. I have 58, so I could buy even a little bit more. So we'll go $21. Crypto, EMP shares, 56. We'll go ahead and leave it at that so I have a little bit of leeway. Apparently Binance is having some issues during my videos. Too many people trying to do last minute reactor claims. You Degans out there. So we'll reject that transaction. We'll hit buy credits again, and hopefully this time, So they're trying to say that it's going to cost me 0.35 BNB in gas. So we're gonna close that out. All right, let's try it. Hopefully, maybe Binance will. I'm gonna wait like just a minute. We'll talk about this, and then we're gonna do some card buying and some listing of rentals. Obviously, I have the EMP in my wallet. I can buy credits with it. Normally, Binance doesn't have these crazy gas wars going on, but maybe there was a drop at 4 that I didn't know about on some NFT project. Maybe it is the Reactor claim on the Emp.money page, but that's what happens to some of these chains. They get a little bit iffy. So we're going to go with that $21. We're going to hit crypto, Emp.money. Let's give it another shot. We're not able to estimate the gas. It's still messing up. Guys, I hope this works. Otherwise, I'll have to try this video again another time, but we're going to wait a little while. Let me go ahead and reject that. It's very strange. I wonder what's going on right now on the world of Binance. My swaps went all fine without any problems. Well, let's go ahead and talk really quick about why this doesn't hurt the overall project, what I'm trying to do. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get to my example of buying the credits and renting a card, but I don't want to completely waste this video. Because when you look at the way this overall ecosystem is set up, when you sell a little bit of eShares to buy EMP, that doesn't hurt the project as much. Because we're trying to push EMP back up to peg. And when EMP gets closer to peg, it pushes up the price of eShares. So selling eShares into EMP, even though it would temporarily hurt the eShare price, if we were able to push EMP back above peg, well, then the boardroom turns back on. And then people can stake eShares for this amazing 1,400% APR. And while they might not be able to do that for very long, if they're not very responsible with their EMP and just dump it all into the market, it does drive the price of eShares up as people go ahead and come in and buy them to stake them to play the Deegan games that get played by some people. Now, hopefully, we're at 403. Let's do a quick refresh of the Splinterlands site. Yes, I know, I'm in a tournament. We'll close that out. We'll put in $21 again. We'll hit crypto. Emp.money is there. We'll hit buy. If they want 56 tokens. And we're still getting this weird gas error on the transaction. I don't want to spend 0.35 BNB. Does it let me change it? Here, let me see if I could just edit this. Edit suggested gas fee to 5 GUI. Gas limit 10. Okay, well, 000. Save. There we go. Now it looks normal. We'll go ahead and try to put it through. I just had to manually change it, and we'll see if the transaction goes through. Please make sure your MetaMask or Binance Smart Chain is unlocked and connected to the Binance Smart Chain. I got an error. There must be something going on right now with the payment system allowing me to buy my EMP tokens, which is a kind of disappointment. But let's just assume this worked because we weren't having a problem. And then you have $21 and you're ready to take these $21 to the Splinterlands marketplace. So you go over here to the marketplace. Obviously, the really, really cheap cards, they could be a play you could make, but if you're making an okay amount of EMP, it might not be the best play. For me, the best play right now is to go to Epic Cards and look into purchasing these cards and renting them out. These cards rent very well. They don't have any problems whatsoever getting rented out usually, and they are renting out for very good value. Now, I'm not necessarily going to buy these cheaper ones. These cheaper ones you see at top either have the recharge ability. To stay away from these cards at this point. These are not popular within the ecosystem. If you want to buy these cheaper cards here, they do rent out very well, but for less of a return because they are given out for free as rewards cards. They still are in pretty good demand and do get rented out, but just not as good of a return. I'm going to scroll down here though, since I have a few more dollars, and I'm going to be targeting cards like Grund, the Forgotten One, Narissa. Let's see, who else down here? We can also look into pulling down a couple of the gold foil cards that are in the epic category for those rewards cards, because these ones rent out really well and actually have a pretty darn good return. And this is my basic area where I'm going to be targeting. Axemaster rents out really well. He's a really valuable card. But I am going to go ahead and hit this. I'm going to stay in Chaos Legion. Chaos Legion is where I'm going to get the best bang for my buck, in my opinion. So the cards I'm really going to be targeting are Forgotten Ones, Wave Broods, Narissas, Tusk the Wides, Gruns, and I'm going to be renting most of them out at level 1. However, a few of the cards I might want to go ahead and take up until level 2. The ones that I would buy maybe and take until level 2 and rent them out to make them give me a slightly better return are the Primalogist and the Acid Shooter, because these cards, as you can see, to get them to level 2, you have to buy 4 of them. But then it's a similar investment to begin with. And then there's a chance that this one's a little bit more wanted on the rental marketplace. I do know the more popular cards for rental, and I did the little mistake where I went to my cards that I currently own, is the Forgotten One and Narissa. That's kind of why they're most expensive. And the least popular ones for rentals are these ones here. Now, there is an interesting play on these ones that is kind of funny to see, but they can be burned for, if they get cheap enough, they can be burned for 100 DEC. Now, 100 DEC is not very much money, but that's something to pay attention to when people are trying to dump these cards really cheaply. If they make a mistake and list it too cheap, you can almost burn them for what they are worth with the DEC play. One of those ones that's kind of live right now is if we go and look at the rare cards. These 2-cent rewards cards can all burn for 2 cents worth of DEC when DEC is at peg. And so there's a chance that you could buy these cards, level them up, rent them out, and then just burn them and get back the money that you put into them if DEC returns to peg. Now, DEC, like EMP, is currently below peg, but there's some stuff happening in the Splinterlands that has caused it to go from about 50% below peg to only 30% below peg. And if we get up to peg again, which a lot of us think they will, it's going to be a very interesting time to see these cards that currently cost 2 cents selling basically at the price that you can destroy them for, which is pretty wild. Let's go ahead and try one more time. All right, sorry if there was a bit of a rough edit there, but the site is finally working. I'm only buying $20 worth of credits because I thought I had a little bit more in EMP than I really did. But we got a regular transaction here, so I think this will finally go through because I didn't have that weird gas error. And all I could think is there must have been some kind of drop going on at 4 o'clock because the Binance Smart Chain was just giving me a ton of errors. So hopefully this goes through without any problems. And if it does, then we'll go ahead and go shopping with this $20. So there we go. Contract interaction is successful. This is the one that failed when I was messing around trying to lower the gas fees and stuff like that. So this will just take a minute to go through. We'll see my credits jump up by $20, and then we'll buy a couple cards and rent them. I think most of my tips and tricks will still be included before this, but maybe I'll repeat myself a little because I don't remember exactly where I was when I kind of gave up because the Binance Smart Chain was just not cooperating with me. And we are mainly going to be targeting epics with this money that I'm moving over out of the EMP protocol because I feel like that's the best thing to be buying with this. I have some other forms of income that I'm bringing in, and I'm buying other cards to move into my rentals. So there, the transaction went through. This, you might not have noticed, but this was a 3-3. It's now a 3-5. It's probably pretty small, but my $20 is in. So let's go shopping. We're going Chaos Legion. We're going Epic. And so we're going to be picking up, I'm going to be focusing here. I really like these cards. I really think these 3 rent out pretty well. We have $20 to buy with. I also think Tusk and Grund are kind of fun cards, and he's only $1.52. So we're gonna be looking into this. So I think basically I'm going to be taking these 2 off the market. You know, those are good prices, $2.22. We're going to pick them up with credits. We've spent $4.44 of our money. We'll try to grab those really quick. As you can see, those 2 were priced to move a little bit under this next one at $2.28. We'll let that finish going through. Those 2 are gone. If I go over here, bam, got myself a couple more of these Forgotten Ones. We'll hit back, go back to the market, hit epic. Sorry, I kind of messed up. I'll try to not mess up again on that. And then we'll pick up some Narissas. Now Narissas at $1.91 is a good price. I'm going to pick up all 3 of those. And let's see, that's 5. I'm going to get one. I'm going to get these 2 at $1.94 too. I really think she's a really good card, so we're going to go ahead and buy a little bit more of her. Also, because I have a little more forgotten ones in my arsenal, I have less Narissas, and I feel like she's a more undervalued card. So that'll go through. Now we'll hit back to the market, and we'll still be on the market. And then, we're going to go look at the Wave Brood. Who snuck up here? Oh, it's the Spirit Dragon. Oh, it's because I'm not on Chaos Legion. So, as you can see, there is the Magi of Chaos over here at 295. He's so much more than the other ones right now that I'll probably look at him on one of the other buys. So, these Wave Broods, let's say we spent 5, so we can pick up 2 of these. And yeah, that'll be us spending about $20. That should put me back around the 333 in credits. Obviously, I could leave things out or do them a little bit different. But in general, that's going to be the purchases that I'm going to make. It's going to give me a good amount of epics. Now I'm going to take you through putting one of these up for rental. So there are rental services within the game, and I actually do use one of them called the Rent Golem project. I'll do a video on them soon to kind of follow up for other people who might want to use them to rent their cards out instead of actually renting them out manually. But there's a couple quick ways to rent them out on the market that I'm just going to give you a couple little tips. So the thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take a look at what cards are renting for on the market. Now this might be a little confusing. So you can see the price per BCX. You can see one person is willing to rent out their level 1 for 0.19 DEC a day. Now this is why you might not want to use a service like Peak Monsters that automatically rents at the 1% below price, because this is one person who rented theirs at a very cheap price compared to the other people, and they are undercutting by a good amount there. That's almost 20%. So you can see, like, I could list mine at 0.25 and be the second lowest rental price, and it would still probably rent out before all of these ones that are renting at 0.26. But if I said rent below the lowest one, I would rent it out at 0.18, and that would be not be very good. So that's how I would go and take a look at what I actually want to list them for. So I would put my 3 up at 0.25 DEC per day, and these 3 cards would be earning me around 1 DEC a day in passive income for the foreseeable future. Now, what the Rental Golem service does, instead of me I would just click here, and I would click list for sale or rent on rent. 0.25, and then I would hit rent, and that would rent it out. Now, instead I can send this card over to my Rentum Golem account, and what it is able to do is it's able to track the up and downs in rentals and adjust the rental prices to get you your best return on your investment into these cards and rent them out for the most. But then they take a cut of your earnings. So you have to understand that they have consistently shown that they earn you enough compared to you doing it on your own that their cut is worth it. Now, I agree with that, but you would have to kind of play with it on yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and instead of renting these out, I'm going to send them to my account that rents cards out through the Rental Golem service. So I'm transferring this over to my other account. It's called Steve Speaks, because you know me, I'm Steve, and I like to speak. So we bought those forgotten ones. We bought the Narissas. So we're going to take these Narissas, and we're going to send the 5 of them over to the Steve Speaks account. And then we also bought 2 Wave Broods. I also had an extra forgotten one that I guess I got out of a pack, and I had forgotten to move to the rental account. So we got the 2 Wave Broods here. 1, 2. And we'll move those over to Steve Speaks. And then we're going to switch over to the Steve Speaks account to actually kind of take a look at how that rental bot is working and give you and show you a little bit better what you should be doing to rent your cards out. So I'll log in with this one. We'll go to here. We'll go to my cards. Now the only thing it's gonna show me owning are these cards here, and for some reason it's showing the shield bearer. I don't know why it's showing that card, because the rest of my cards are all rented out. So if I change this to owned, Epic and Chaos Legion, now you'll see that I own these other cards, but my Gruns are already rented out and they're currently on the market earning me a return. And the bot will see these cards come in slowly and start to rent them. But like what I would look with my, what I would do when I'm like looking at my cards over here is I would see, are they renting at level 1? If they are renting at level 1, then I would just leave them and let them get rented out by the bot, because it should see one of the things I'll show you. So the rent price here that the rental golem got me is 3 DEC a day rented to these people. Because what happens is a bot farm comes through, and Forgotten One is a very important card, and they say, I need to rent 50 Forgotten Ones for my 50 bot accounts. So they rent this one, 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 all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down through all of these Forgotten Ones until they get up here. And now they start renting them from the people renting them from 1 DEC a day. But you'll see how it goes from 1 DEC a day to all of a sudden there's like none listed for 3. Well, the rental golem service was able to rent mine out for 3. This is how they make their money, because while they get a percentage of that 3, when I manually rented it out, it was going to go for 0.25. They're going to find a way to rent this out for around 3 DEC when they rented at the exact time, because they know historically when the bots come through and sweep the markets. And the bot doesn't really care because it's profitable even at 3 DEC. So it just is going to say, go rent me 100 of these cards for my 100 accounts, or 50 accounts, or 200 accounts, or 300 accounts, because they all need the Forgotten One. It's an important card. Same thing happens on the other ones. So that gives you a brief intro of how to take those EMP rewards, take them into the Splinterlands ecosystem, and then start to rent them out for passive returns. All of this dark energy crystals, the 64,000, is coming from all of my cards, but obviously I have more cards. Now, do you need to level these up? I would say no, and I'll show you why. When I come and look at some of my higher level cards, they don't always get rented. This is a common card that's pretty old. I have a level 8, a 6, and a 4. Somebody did rent a level 8 for 5 DEC, but nobody is renting this level 6. They're trying to get 1.5. Nobody is renting this level 4. They're only trying to get 0.24. Sometimes the cards do not rent out. I have a level. I have like these serpent spines. They rent out at level 1. You get the best return for your money if the card rents out at level 1. If you have a bunch of high level cards, sometimes they don't even get rented. Here's another example. I have a level 7 in Spear. Nobody's renting it because nobody wants to play him at level 7 right now that's renting cards. But the level 3 and the level 5 of him are rented out. So there's kind of a misconception for some people that you want to push all of your cards to the highest levels. There are specific levels that you should kind of aim for, and that's something that you can kind of learn if you pay attention to the market, or if you keep watching my channel, because I'm going to be doing updated videos on this kind of stuff. Thanks, guys. Bye.